right. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome Mark. Welcome Gabe. Welcome Hotfix. Glad to see everybody back. Hope everybody had a good holiday weekend last weekend. Hey Glenn. Welcome back to the stream. You guys want to do an audio check real quick?
Hey everybody, Hotfix here.
Hey everybody, it's Mark.
Hey everyone, it's Gabe.
Everything looks to be working on my end. Let me know out there in the YouTube land if it's sounding good for you guys. Hey Renee, welcome back to the stream. We'll give everybody a minute or so to join, and then we'll go ahead and get started. High temp PLA. I did not see a new high temp PLA. I didn't look at the filaments today, though. Did you guys see a high temp PLA?
I think it's not bamboo. I think it's
Polymakers said
Polymaker,
something
yeah.
like that. It's supposed to be, I guess they released it just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, what makes it high temp? Is it just not supposed to melt inside of your...
No,
it-
apparently
inside
it
of
has
your
the same
dryer?
it has the same properties as PLA as far as printing is concerned, but it's got a very high sun tolerance.
Interesting.
yeah. Apparently, it can withstand temps up to 150 degrees Celsius.
Super interesting. I had not seen that. Thanks for pointing it out.
One of the other YouTubers I watched, I don't know if it's okay to say other channels on yours, did a big thing on it the other day. Last night he had a stream, and he's backed by Polymaker, so he was showing a lot of it as far as what it can do, what it can't do, and he was actually giving some of it away.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, needing something high temperature or whatever, super niche. So there's several options that are already out there. I'm not sure why we would need another option for that. I guess if printing with PLA is easier, I guess, but I mean, PETG and ASA are pretty easy to print with. I guess the cost, but PETG.
Well, you don't need a enclosed printer for these, right? You can do these on a bed slinger if you wanted to. That's a big
I
thing.
always forget about the bed slingers and the non-AMS people that I always have to dodge with. I'm trying to get models and everything else. It drives me insane.
Well, I do try to forget the bed.
Well, they
scene.
should have the I don't have a real 3D printer section and I have a real thing section.
How do you really feel,
And
Len?
not make me dig through the I want to print something with my AMS and do multicolor, and I pull up 7 models and all of them are, you don't need an AMS. And I'm like, well, great. I spent $400 on 2 of them. Like, awesome. I'm great. I'm glad there's so many models that I don't need my AMS on. Thank you.
Well, those models can be handy. In some cases, I do like doing them
But
together.
but when I'm
Sometimes you do want to print
looking for
everything together.
something that's multicolor and that's all I can find, it's super annoying.
Oh, it is annoying. So one of the models that I submitted for tonight, it's a single color every single piece, and I glue everything together. But that one, if it was multicolor, first the size wouldn't allow it. But if it was multicolor, the amount of waste needed would be just crazy.
Yeah, I get that it's good in some instances. Not saying that. What I'm saying is when that's all I can find, it's super annoying.
Oh, I agree with you.
Imagine if you were needing your print to be spread out like that and all you could find were things that were together. It would be super annoying. And on like Maker World, you can hit like multicolor print or whatever, but it doesn't like separate that. Because for me, if you're printing one color on one plate, another color on another plate, that's not multicolor printing to me. That's just doing a whole bunch of single color prints and gluing them together. It's not a multicolor print.
You mean that's an Ender 3 print?
Yeah. It's not a real printer versus a real printer, right?
Yeah, but please don't mention those Ender 3. I'm gonna go into fetal position, start crying.
Yeah. People start unsubscribing from my channel in ways. Yeah, so like if you want to tinker and do all of that, like that's cool, but like yeah, it drives me nuts sometimes trying to
No,
find something cool to print. And again, like okay, I can print it and put it all together and go get my glue out. And you want to talk about smell, like man, when every time I open up my glue bottle, that little sensor dee, 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 starts going off because of the fumes of the glue or whatever. Like the super glue that you have to use to glue this stuff together is worse than ABS or ASA. You could print that nonstop and it'd be less harmful than the super glue for some of this stuff.
Well, the difference is that the ABS is toxic. The other one just gets you high.
I'm pretty sure super glue is toxic too. It's burning some brain cells.
more than likely it is, but it wasn't as funny just to say that both are
that was
toxic.
pretty funny. That was pretty funny, I gotta say. All right, let's jump
I guess if I have too much super glue, I'll start up printing on my Ender 3 S1 Pro.
Yeah.
Talking about ABS, I started getting a error warning on my Ace 2D with the printing ABS. Apparently, I'm getting some. Let me see if I can post it here. I'm getting a diagnostic here. Let's see. I'm not sure it's coming through.
With ABS or ASA yet.
Yeah, and I'm getting a diagnostic. Apparently, the filter switch flap in the door is malfunctioning, and then anyway, I'm getting. I need to. It just happened this evening, right before I got logged in. I need to figure out how to open the damn thing. Have you ever opened it to open the filter?
Before you even chase that down, I would turn it off, count to 5, turn it back on, see if it gives you that same error.
I've done that twice. Mm. Yeah, I've done it twice.
Have you unplugged the power as well?
Yeah, completely. I was able to finally figure out how to open the filter. Apparently, it's a flap inside. It has to do something with the ventilation inside. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I spent about an hour on it before I logged in a few minutes ago. But I was able to print. I mean, at the end, I printed what I needed.
All of this, check the flaps movement. filter flap error H2D. If you just Google that, looks like there's a pretty good thing troubleshooting guide right here from with links to the Bamboo wiki.
Yeah, I looked at the wiki. I went into ChatGPT and gave me, but there's a lot of stuff that it tells you to do stuff that I have no idea how to even get to it.
Ooh,
And
this
since this
is
is a new
behind
printer,
the. Ooh, you get to take your brand new $3,000 printer apart. That's always fun. Oh, look at that. The
oh,
wiring.
that
That even looks more fun.
that's the back part, but the front part, go up a minute. You go up a minute, and I'll go up, 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 not down. Up, 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 up. Okay, I think this part here is where the filter goes. If you go down a bit, I think the filter goes right in here. Hey, I mean, I opened it up and I was able to get the filter out, which is not easy to figure it out how to get the filter out. It's not
Interesting.
very intuitive.
I haven't had that issue yet.
There's not a lot of in YouTube in terms of videos that anybody's put together. Not even maintenance. I think I sent you a little note on that. There's nothing on maintenance on the H2D yet. How to do a maintenance? There's a bunch on the X1 Carbon and the P1P, etc. But the H2D, I haven't seen anything. So that'll be a project maybe tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can figure out what the hell's going on.
Replace the purge chute.
Well, that's the back.
Yeah, but it's interesting that this filter switch flap is in the same section as the purge chute. I would almost check to see if there's not like a piece of filament in there jerking you around. It's just interesting that this is in the same page as the.
Well, the first thing it tells you is to open it up to check and see there's no object preventing the flaps from opening and shutting. And to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure what they're telling me to do. I'll have to spend some time tomorrow, see if I can figure the damn thing out. I mean, everything else prints fine. The only thing is, when you need a heated chamber, it's when it comes in. So ABS, I mean, I print
And it
mainly.
looks like there's like a flap or something. They're being cute with opening and closing that one of those filters or something. Is that what this is? And that's what's malfunctioning?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the hell it's all about. I mean, it only happens. I mean, I print most with PLA and PETG, and part of the reason is ABS. I got to open the windows and blow and have a fan blowing out the window. In front of the printer, blowing it out. I open two windows out and make sure that I vent the room. So I don't print that much with ABS. But I was printing a couple of stuff with ABS, and the damn thing came on. I had printed before, and it didn't. I didn't get diagnostic. I printed some about a month ago when I got the printer. Shortly after I got the printer. Oh, that's a little penguin. It bounces. Actually, you push his head down. It has a little spring. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I wasn't sure. Yeah, it forms like the body is like a spring. It prints like a spring for the body, so the head moves up and down.
Is it like a
Later on,
bobblehead or whatever almost?
yeah, something like that. Something not. It's the body is a spring. So from where you see the lines there up, the head and the shoulders are one piece. I mean, it's all one piece. It prints in place. There's some giraffes that I printed later on, I think, and those are also have like a spring motion on them. Those are not print in place. They're printed in three parts, and you gotta just press them together. You don't need any glue really, but this is just one piece. I think I had printed this last week.
So that's the one that you need the real 3D printer for, right?
Exactly.
Or real multicolor.
Exactly. It doesn't take that long actually, because it's I think I printed this on the H2 3D because the black and white is one color. I mean, one in the white and the black are in the two nozzles, and then that I think it's more like a light brown for the legs and the peak. It's I think in the white or the black. I don't remember which one was it. There you go. You passed it. The next one you'll see the giraffes.
Eduardo Grev asked if those are on Maker's World.
What's that? Yeah, they are. They are on Maker's World.
Yeah,
You want me to
someone
do
in the chat had asked whether or not they were from Maker's World.
Oh yeah. Let me see if I find it. Hold on.
GEV Subaru's Gabe.
Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I think I printed these the week before last.
Yeah, I think all of these first prints are the prints that you sent me for last weekend. While you look up the link for that, let's jump over to this cool giraffes. And do these have like bobbleheads too?
Actually, the necks are actually like a spring, so they when you if you move them, they'll move side by side. The tolerance were kind of tight to put them together, the body and the neck. There's three parts: the body, the neck, and then the head. And the head wasn't that difficult to put together, but in the body and the neck they're a little tough. I don't know if
It's because
there's
they
no
use dovetail, and you're in the points of the dovetail, so I think you're a couple of seconds behind on the stream. But in the points of the dovetail, there's not enough resolution in the printer to really print that, so it'd
yeah
be really hard. I've seen other people use, instead of a trapezoid or whatever for a dovetail, to use like a circle or a cylinder or whatever, because the tolerances are easier to print and you still get like a tight fit. The reason why people use dovetail is it aligns it very well, and then it's a wedge, right? So it tightens it on there. But if your tolerances aren't right, it can be a total pain in the butt. And I know this from trying to do dovetails and woodworking. Like, I have little tiny planes or little planers that I got, little tiny ones, just from trying to micro adjust little dovetails, so simple little things like drawer will slide together or whatever. But dovetails are super hard to get tolerances on any type of manufacturing that you do them with. But if you do get them right, they're the best. Hey, Dr. Doohickey.
I found the link here. This is a link for the
I think Renee may have found it as well.
you found it? Okay. Yeah, that's the same one. Yeah. And the giraffes are there too. Somewhere in there. But if you can see on the neck, the I don't know if I, especially that one in the middle there, the neck.
Are
There's
you
a.
using the high flow nozzle?
I haven't. I haven't used it.
It's interesting because I got errors kind of similar to this when I used the high flow nozzle without turning the max volumetric speed up.
I think that's that may have been old filament that I was using that I didn't dry. Especially the one there that like ink. That's an old ink
What,
that I have some remaining there,
what
and it
filament
wasn't
to
dry.
it? Mark is still mad about me saying not real 3D printers.
No, Dr. Doohickey asked what he missed, so I just told.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
By the way, did you see that Bamboo is refunding if you bought a printer and or AMS or AMS HT during a period of time or the tariff?
Do you have to do
Uh,
something, or are they proactively
uh,
sending it?
no, no, no. You got to do something. I sent you an email
Yeah,
with the information.
I haven't had time. I
Well,
work
go.
like 60 plus hours a week, so it's hard to
Yeah.
find
Well,
stuff like that.
there's. I sent you an email. There's a way to go into support, and I forgot to get there's the instruction what you need to do. You're only allowed to do it once. So you have more than one purchase that you acquired more than one thing. You have to make sure you send it in the same uh, plane, and then it takes about 3 or 4 days, 5 days. It took me about 5 days to get not a credit, a discount voucher, which I haven't used yet. When I bought the
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
AMS HT, I paid $40 more than it, than with the tariff because of the tariff. So they gave me a discount card for code for $40. Now I had purchased two extra um, two extra AMS 2 Pro that I paid like $40 for also, but it was not in the window. There's a window if you ordered it
Yeah, I think I
from
have the
May 2nd.
HT and the AMS. I think will be in that window, but I'll
Uh,
have to
you
see.
you you got to look at it. I had two AMS 2 Pro that I acquired, which I thought fell in the window
You
because
got
they did
those.
charge for it.
Yeah, you got those way before I did, but we got our. I think we ordered our HTs at the same time, and I ordered my
Exactly.
AMS after the HTs.
Okay,
So
well then you probably got them both. Then make sure you send them if you order them in a separate uh, purchase order. Make sure you send them together because you only allowed to submit the request once. So if you do if you only submit one of
it.
them, you're only going to get one. But look one of the emails that I sent you.
It looks like the penguin from Happy Feet.
Yeah, it does.
It's super cute.
Yeah, that's also in there. That's also in Maker's World.
That one turned out really good. Really good quality. I like the skin or whatever that they put on this one. Looks cool. It's not just flat or whatever or smooth.
Yeah, I got to see where I found that. I mean, mm,
That's
I
a
can't
pretty
find it
big
now.
word for us. That's funny.
I can't find it now.
Renee found it, I believe.
Oh, you did? Okay.
You should, in Maker World, if you click like on your profile picture or whatever, you should have downloads, and anything that you download is right there. So you should just be able to go in and see all of those and be able to click on them from that download tab.
On the download, but if you print directly out of the from the app, and it could have been out of the app. I don't know if this one came
Oh,
out of the app or.
you print out of the phone app.
Sometimes I print directly out of the app. It depends on what it is.
Yeah, I've never done that. I know you can. It's just I don't trust that thing.
I like to make sure my settings are the way I want them.
Yeah, yep. That's exactly right. Like I want to go through like the slicer and look at stuff because it seems like, yeah, I don't know. I'm a control freak on that one. It'll take me a while before I would just blindly print. But like simple things, I guess it wouldn't be that big of a thing. I'm just too big of a control freak. But that's weird that if you print from the Handy app that it doesn't show up in your download file.
But you do have print history. I said you can see them from the print history, and that's where I found them. So it could be that this one is from download. I don't.
Everything is in one place in the download thing, but if you do one little stupid thing, that's not handy for your Handy app. That's not very handy. They must have, I won't say it, make people mad. I was going to say they have some former programmers from another software company that likes to do things to make things harder every time they upgrade.
I can hear you.
So I didn't want to say the name. But how did everybody know exactly what I was talking about?
Would that be the opposite of macro hard?
Yeah.
Anything like micromanaging?
It'd be the orange company. The opposite of the other fruit company. The bronze birds, those look funny.
They just stood outside for a little
You
too
know,
long.
yeah. They're
They're
not really
like
bronze. I
statue
think.
ones.
They're not really bronze. They came out bronze. I think it's a lighting. It's a green. It's a matte green.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the lighting on that.
iPhone, what is up with that?
Yeah, it's a green. It's a matte green, I think it is. Yeah, it's the lighting.
It does look a little bit more green in this with
they
some
are.
green
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I think it was the lighting in that picture.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it might just be my monitor, but these look bronze.
No. It could have been the picture. Yeah, it's the picture.
Interesting.
For what it's worth, it does look very much like the bronze PLA from Bamboo, which is actually a really nice film.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a green. It's a matte green.
We're gonna have to get photo lessons from Gabe. Just kidding. But when you have it in a picture with green, it looks like a totally different color.
Almost looks like an olive green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look more that in this picture. Yeah.
Like the first one was more brown, but in this picture, it's more of like that olive color, like you're saying, Mark.
Well,
Military green.
Even these look at some of the one in the back. look completely different, that green, than the green on the front one. It's also lighting. It's not. I just took the picture on top of my laptop with a little blue mat, and behind that there's wood. So it's kind of dark area. So if I turn on a light, and the light is not a very good light for photography.
Yeah, generally the color of your pictures are really spot on, but that one filament is it's struggling on its own. Super
Yeah.
weird.
It could have been. I don't even. It might have been that there was no light on it. Maybe I took the picture without a light.
I don't know, some with some colors or whatever, the little algorithm in the camera to do the lighting and everything, there's going to be one or two that it messes up on. It looks like we found one of them, at least in your particular lighting situation. Because
It could
generally,
also
like
be the type of light.
this one, right? Like, and all of your other pictures are all perfect, but that one picture was weird.
Yeah.
But I would,
This one,
I would attest it to the algorithm more than anything.
my granddaughter asked me to make. This is a puppy of a Cavalier, King Charles Cavalier. My son has a Cavalier, which similar to this dog. So I printed that for her.
That one needs the caption. How much is that puppy in the window?
I know it does
It wasn't
have
cheap.
those anime eyes, huh?
It wasn't cheap. The real puppy wasn't cheap. I think he paid like $3,500 for that dog.
Well, I just got done doing 2,400 for a Labrador, so I feel his pain.
Oh yeah. Well, my two sons got King Charles Cavalier, but one from different parents, different parents, same breeder, and 1 month apart. And one was more black, and then with my oldest son, and this one got his, which is like a brownish, golden and white. It's a beautiful, beautiful dog. It's kind of big for a Cavalier. Cavaliers tend to be a little smaller.
Well, then you know where my printer money went, right? My wife won.
But you could have printed out like hundreds of dogs. Just kidding.
So you compromise and your wife won?
Oh, my wife wanted a lab. I wanted the H2D.
So
My
you
wife
compromise and got a lab.
Lens, did you get finally the plate, the envisioned whatever it's called?
Yeah, I got the plate.
Yeah, have you played with it yet?
No, I haven't messed with it.
Yeah, I've used it, but I'm not sure I can tell the difference. This is just a Snoopy. My cousin asked me to print it for his granddaughter. Very large. It's about 8 inches tall.
Is that a
Light
light
there,
box
though,
or just a wall art?
I'm sorry?
Is that a light box or just a
No,
wall art?
it looks like a light, but it's not a light box. It's actually printed in two parts. The black is one part, and then the white is another part that just fits in. It has, so if you look at it sideways, it's about maybe half an inch thick. There's no light inside. The black is one part, and the white is another, and just fits in right into where the black frame is at. So all the whites I print that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts, I think it is. but small. There's small pieces that fit into the white that fit into the black. It's about 8 inches tall, I think it is. 8, 9 inches tall. And it has a hole in the back that you can actually put a nail and just put it in a wall, hang it in a wall or something. But it has no light inside.
If only they made a printer with two nozzles that you could print two colors without waste, so you wouldn't have to.
Exactly.
Oh wait.
Is that a real printer?
That's a real printer.
But you can see like a little tiny gap right there. If you wouldn't
Where?
have said that they were put together or whatever, you could see just the tiniest little gap right here.
Yeah, it does have but it fits pretty tight in. Um, you don't have to glue it. I mean, I did glue the little pieces because he was going to give it to his granddaughter, and his granddaughter is very small. Uh, she's like a year old. I was afraid that it may fall out. But a piece like on the ear, you see the white in the ear? That's a little piece in the tail. I was afraid it falls off, and then the kid puts it in his mouth, swallows it. I put a little bit of glue inside, but you really don't need the glue.
You wouldn't need any glue if you
Can print it all at once, right?
you know.
You're right. That's a Schnauzer. That's some string there.
Oh my god, I grew up with schnauzers, and that is so cute. It's
I
like a
printed
cross between a sh- Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
printed. My dad had Schnauzer, um, and when the dog died, he said he was not gonna. He suffered. He said it was like losing a kid. He said, "I'm not
Yeah.
gonna have any more dogs." He was up in age. Well, up in age, my age. He was in his mid 70s. Shortly after, he said, "I'm not gonna have any more dogs." But anyway, he had a Schnauzer, but it was more like a grayish Schnauzer.
Yeah. Salt and
The
pepper.
original, yeah. This one, the original is in black. I printed two other color, another gray, dark gray, which it can come out. You'll see it later, and then one in a blue gray, and I didn't send that one. I had already sent two of them to Lenny, so I didn't want to send another one. So, but I printed another color.
This also reminds me a little. Maybe it's the eyebrows, but this one kind of also reminds me of a Scotty a little bit. But it's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
like a Scotty and a
You're right.
Schnauzer got together and had a baby, and it came out this
Could,
piece of
yeah,
plastic.
yeah. I mean, it's a little cartoonish. It's not
Yeah.
meant to be. Well, the same thing as a King Charles Cavalier. It's a little cartoonish.
Love that face though. That is such a little face. Good job, dude.
Guess we can see a pattern going here.
Yeah.
It would be cool if you could make just a slightly different expression on each one.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
officially have
but
a
you
litter
would need a
now.
real 3D printer for that.
You officially have a litter now.
Yeah. I need to start blowing some hot air to take those little stringings, which when I print them, I don't see them. When you do a
Yep.
zoom in, that's when you see them. So I
Yeah,
hardly ever, use a torch or uh, a blower, hot air to blow them out. And only
I
when
get
I
that
see
a
them
lot
here,
too.
and only when I see them here on the screen on Saturdays do I actually see them because I look at the originals, I don't see them. When you blow them up, like they're like a foot tall. That's when you see the little string.
I have that happen a lot. It's called old manitis.
Yeah, definitely.
CRS.
Oh man. Oh.
Can't remember something.
I thought you meant can't read, but that works too.
Oh man, it's Christmas in May.
Yeah, my cousin asked me to print that Snoopy for his granddaughter.
All you need now is Snoopy on his doghouse.
I have one. I printed one Snoopy laying on top of the doghouse, looking up the sky. But I did that about a year ago, I think.
I did a video on that one. That was like my third or fourth or fifth video I think that I ever did
Snoopy on the doghouse.
on the doghouse. Yeah, I got ringing in it or whatever, and I messed around with the flush settings to get the black ringing out of it or whatever. It was
Hmm.
before Bamboo Studio was as slick as it is today, but I had to mess with
Hmm.
the settings to get that out, so I made a video on that. But yeah, that was one of the very first videos I ever did. Yeah, I think I even had the little Snoopy thing on a little folding a little folding table thing or a little folding tray for dinner or whatever. That's what was my little display stand for it. That's so funny. Yeah, this was one of the very first videos I did. Those turned out good though. No ringing.
What happens when I can't do only one? When I do multicolor, I got to do several.
Oh,
This is
that's
the
so much better.
this is a this is a, I have another one which I didn't send to Lenny, which is I like better, which is a with a uh, blue gray filament, but from Bamboo Lab. I think that looks better than that one. But I didn't send that one to Lenny. I had already
The
sent them two. I had sent too many, so I said I'm not going to send him another one. But a
blue gray
blue
is one of
gray,
Len's favorite colors.
exactly. A blue gray is actually my favorite of the three.
That's so cute.
Yeah, that's a really good model. Did a really good job on the facial expression. You can only get that with the real 3D printer.
Hey, thanks by the way, Renee, for linking all those, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Renee. What are these? Ferrets, right? And
Yeah,
those
these are
turned out
ferrets.
cool. They do look
Yeah,
like
cute.
little ferrets. Do they stink like little ferrets too?
When my kids were growing up, they had two ferrets, and they do stink, man.
Yeah,
They
they're
do stink.
super cool, but boy, you can smell if somebody
Oh
has a
yeah,
ferret in the house. Good grief.
man. And do they poop? Do they poop, man? They poop like you have no idea. Now
So
the
with all
original is this
this,
small? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, with all these small animals that you make, do you just give them all away, or do you recoup some of your filament costs?
No, no. I give them all away. I typically do six, seven, eight, nine, depending, and then there's I have three grandkids, and then the lady that helps my wife, she has a couple of grandkids, so I give her two or three each time she comes by. And then for one of my sister's son and then I have another friend that had a grandson, which I print. So when I see them every once in a while, I like every couple of months, I give them a little box of all these little things that I print for them. But no, I don't sell any. I just give them away. This one, I had to paint the eye. It is from Maker's World. It doesn't have the eyes painted at all, so I just put a dot in the eye and send them to print. My daughter really liked this. My granddaughter really liked this one.
If you painted that model in Bamboo Studio, you should upload that as a print profile.
I
It's
have
a remake or whatever.
Yeah, the Cavalier that they post uh, did not have any settings at all. So I downloaded and I printed and I tried to upload it, and it told me I couldn't submit a remake. I said the hell with it. First time I tried to do that.
So instead of a remake, you can upload it to the same file just as a print profile.
Now I've never done that, so I need to figure out how to do that. I try to do it as a remake.
The original owner gets the points for anyone that downloads it, not you.
Well, it gives you the option that you can give him the points for the profile, or you can receive the points.
Yep, I've done that a bunch.
Okay.
When I make a significant change, there's people who will download it and tweak one setting. I resized it by 10%. Here's my print profile. It's like, stop.
I just wish I could get a couple of prints that people like that would let me use points to get the new printer for instead of going nuts.
Yep.
I've done a lot of prints that I've resized, and some of the modified quite extensively, that they just made sense for it to be bigger in it. But I've never uploaded anything. The first one I tried to upload was that Cavalier, and when I got that diagnostic back, I couldn't upload. I said, the hell with it.
Yeah, so you just want to upload the profile to the same page of the creator. You can, next to where it says IP report, there's 3 dots. You click on it and say, and click on add profile or something like that.
Yeah, it's add print profile. Yep.
I'll check and see.
Yeah, maybe before the live is over, Len can open it up and we can find the actual link.
Be gad. Sorry, I get distracted. That cat says meow.
That would be the perfect Cheshire cat.
I think it's a mad cat.
Yeah, it looks very happy.
No, it's a Matt. A grumpy. That's the name of it. Grumpy.
Where's my food?
I painted the eyes. The eyes. It was just one solid color, and I painted the eyes on there.
Oh, you did good, man.
Can't do that with the single color printer.
Only with a real printer.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, just a suggestion. Next time you're gonna print more of those, you might want to consider painting the nose as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Or the mouth.
Or the mouth, and the fingernails,
and the ears,
and inside the ear.
So now you need a real printer.
So then you take
you definitely need to upload that profile.
So then you take a print that's going to take an hour to print and make it an 8-hour print.
8.5.
Exactly.
Hey, do it while you're sleeping. What are you ain't even going to notice.
It's true.
You won't even notice.
You can always blame it on Len.
That's true.
Len made me do it.
I take none of the blame and all of the praise.
old saying is deny everything and demand proof.
Yeah, I didn't do it. Nobody saw me do it. You can't prove anything. All right, I think that's all of them, right, Ed?
I think so. I don't remember any. If I no, I think that's it.
I think that's all of them.
I
I
printed a
appreciate.
couple more stuff, but I didn't send them. I had sent already enough from the last week and a little bit of this week.
Yep, we'll send
I
them
have,
for next week. All right. Thank you for sending those in as always. Appreciate that. Next on the list is Gabe, and right away with the banger. Man, that's a cool looking panther.
Those red eyes.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, that's a silk red on the eyes. So
Nice
my
touch.
neighbor across the street, he's a big fan of panthers and all that, and he chose that one from Maker's World, so I printed it for him. So I ended up with those lines. I'm not sure why. I printed two models at the same time, one smaller, one bigger, and the bigger one, I think, is the one that ended up with those two lines there.
It almost looks
it's a
like
big.
part of the design. It'd be cool if like those are little
It would
wires
be
going through
it,
there.
it would be really cool, but I'm 100% sure that I'm not going to be able to replicate it unless I paint that now.
Mhm. You said he's a fan of the Panther, Florida Panther.
No, he's actually a Marvel fan.
I
He's
see.
like 6, 7 years old, and he wanted. He asked me for a
I
Black
see.
Panther, so I gave him my phone and let him choose whatever he wanted, and he chose that one.
Turned out
He,
good.
he also likes Transformers, so I guess
Mhm.
it was a bit of a mix of both.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that one is the colors are just regular PLA black and silk plus red for the guys. Yeah, it came out. I printed it with a lot of infill, so it came out really heavy since it's for a 6-year-old to play with. And wanted, I put like 5 or 6 walls and put a lot of infill.
Turned out nice. It's a cool model.
Yeah, it is. I'm not sure if it had a print profile or not.
It is very transformery or whatever. It does look like a Transformers little panther or whatever. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it does, and that's one of the reasons he chose it, because he likes Transformers as well. So he ended up choosing that one, and I printed it for him.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing it using silk black, but I started the print with that one, and it came out really nice, so I didn't reprint.
Yeah, that black's plenty shiny.
Yeah,
It's really
and,
cool.
and it came out really shiny, and I was a bit surprised, and I want to say it is Bamboo Labs basic PLA black, but now I'm doubting myself. It might have been the Songlu high speed PLA black.
Are those
Yeah, so
the same dogs that we've seen?
yes. So this is the same dog we saw like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't remember who printed them, which I liked. So I
That's a lab.
yes, except that I did it red, like the bit red dog. And I printed 25 of those to give away to a friend that she's a first grade teacher, and she decorates her classroom with Clifford. So she gave one of one of the dogs to each of the students as a end of year gift.
I see we're on a dog theme this week.
Oh, I have my dog barking right now, so she might want to be part of the live.
Well, no, I mean everybody's Prince. Everybody seems
Yeah.
to be on this dog theme this week.
Yeah, technically I had it for last week, but since we didn't have one, I guess we could move to this week. Now, the profile says that it prints without support, but I guess the lower part of the face, to be honest, I think it could have used some supports because it doesn't look great. Now, it looks worse in the picture than in person.
Yeah, that happens in all the pictures that we show up. You know, when you zoom
Mhm.
something
Yep.
that is an inch tall and you put it in a big screen TV, I'm looking at it 4 feet tall. I mean,
Yeah.
you're really blowing it up, you
The
know.
TV adds 5 pounds and 5 layer lines.
Oh,
Yes.
well, much more than that. I mean, I'm
And
looking at
like 20
mine.
imperfections.
Yeah, um, but you don't see that when you look at the. I mean, you got to zoom it in, you know.
Yeah, well, it might be that us old guys, we don't have new eyes anymore. So we might not be able
No,
to see them in person, but we
Until it's
see them in
zoomed
the
out
screen.
4 feet tall. Oh, that's
I,
funny.
I'm, I'm, I mean, this is the original print is about an inch tall.
Yeah, so this one is a bit bigger. I
Oh,
resized it and
you
made it
printed
a,
it bigger? Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay. But
it might be like an inch and a half. I think I added like half an inch more.
yeah, but anyway, when you take that and you blow it up into 4 feet tall, you know, 3 feet
Yeah,
tall, 3.5 feet tall, you know,
yeah, but still, I think it couldn't have used the supports. Since the profile said that it didn't need support, I wasn't gonna print just one to test because I was printing 25 on a. So I just sent it to print. And after the first batch of like 12 or 14 or something like that, I noticed. I said, well, I guess I'll print the rest the same way anyway. Yeah, it
okay.
was
So
a fun print.
And then
you,
Tim
you,
says
you
he's been making keychains out of these little guys. That's cool. I bet people love those. If you want to make keychains or whatever and make some money, you got to do the laboo. Look it up. That's what's hot right now is laboo. LA boo boo. However you spell that.
what is that?
I don't know. It's some little animal thing, but it's like blowing up. Like everybody wants that stupid little thing. So if you want to make some money real quick, uh, look up these little things. Laboo. Boos. These little angry looking things. These things right now are the hottest thing out right now for the little kids. So if you want to make some
Oh,
money,
okay,
print
yeah.
out some of these little laboo things.
It's this year's Cabbage Patch doll.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Exactly.
yeah. I've seen that. I've
Exactly.
seen that.
Yeah. So if you're trying to make a little hustle, print out a couple of these things and you can make quick bucks off of these things. They're selling for like $60-$70 for these stupid little things.
Oh wow.
Looking one here, five 5.9 inches tall. I think it says it's $89,
Yeah.
almost $90.
Yeah. That's what I mean. You can print some of these out and make some quick cash with it not being
And on eBay,
90
they're like,
bucks. And look, they even have a model for a non-real printer. Just kidding. But yeah, if you want to make a quick buck off of some 3D prints or whatever, print out some of these laboobos. So you could
Let me
print
check on.
one of these and have people paint it. You can print the different colors. They have all of these, but these things they're like Hotfix said, they're like the Cabbage Patch doll or whatever. But if you're trying to sell little 3D prints at little shows or whatever, print out a bunch of these things, you make a killing. They're 60, 70, 80, and these things come in a sealed bag and they don't even say what color they are.
Mm.
You pay $90 and you don't even know what color of this thing you're getting. So yeah, if you want to make a quick buck off of 3D prints, print out some of these laboobos and sell them at the little art shows or whatever. Tim, if you're making keychains, make keychains out of these laboobos. You will not be able to print them fast enough. Straight up.
There's a bunch of them on Maker's World.
Yeah, there's a ton of those. Labubu, look it up. If you're looking for an idea to make some money real quick, you got to do it now. But I would make some keychains out of those little labubus. You make money hand over fist.
You know, I realize I'm getting old when I look at stuff like this, and I'm going, "What crack are they smoking?"
Yeah, when we were kids, oh man, there's 1,000 different things that they robbed us of our money for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the Cabbage Patch Kids. It was the Garbage Patch Kids.
The Garbage Pail Kids. And I had thousands of those things. And you know where I bought them? At the fire station.
But they were not robbing us of our money. They were robbing us of our parents' money.
Yeah.
It's different.
That's fun.
I've got Garbage Pail. You got me saying it now. Garbage Pail Kids Series 2 full set right behind me on the wall.
See? Oh, man.
This is cute. Where did you get this print from?
That's from Flexi Factory.
Okay.
Yeah, that's called the Nessie. They call it Nessie, the Loch Ness monster. And so yeah, it is a cool print. I gave that one away as well. But I had a bit of an issue on the left eye, or right if you're looking at it here. The top left part of the eye kind of has a bit of an issue when it printed. Same with the left front flipper. Not sure what happened there.
Look fine from here, even at 4 feet tall.
Yeah, but if you zoom in, Lenny, you can zoom in, so you see that there's a line on the flipper, on the left flipper at the top part of it. Yeah. So the left eye also has the same. So you scroll up, and that green is bambusa mistletoe green.
Okay.
You know, only we would pick out the imperfections of a line.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. I mean,
yeah,
I'm looking at a 4 foot tall. There, okay. It's a 4 foot tall.
When you see it in person, the part of the eye you notice because it has a bit of green on the white, so you notice it. The line on the flipper, you don't really see it in person, or barely noticeable.
And how tall is the original, the real one, the one you printed?
I think it's like 3.5, 4 inches.
Okay, so it's really I thought it was like a foot tall.
No,
it looks great, man. It looks great. A great print.
I can tell you right now. I'm opening the file to see how big it is, because I didn't measure it.
Those are the guys from Brazil, right? They have that.
No, that's a Steel Flex.
Steel Flex.
This guy is from California, Flexi Factory.
Okay, yes. Spotlight can. They've actually put some stuff in Maker World Flexi Factory, right? They've actually put some free.
Yeah, they do have some on Maker's World, but I'm not sure. It's just a really small collection that they did.
Yeah. I mean, I think a number of them actually do that just to advertise themselves. This, like all these little dogs are from one of those groups.
That's how they get you. They give you the first one for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how Flexi Factory started. When I had my ender, he would give his models for 1 day for free on a specific Facebook group that I was a member of. Until he started getting customers, and then he just stopped doing it.
It worked.
Yeah, it definitely worked.
Are the
He has
pe-
some
are,
cool models though. Like these are definitely like you're not going to be mad for paying for a subscription with models like this, or if you were to
No,
pay like $1 or $2 for this model, you're not going to be mad at things like this. It's
yeah,
really high quality.
yeah, I agree that they're really high quality. Um, but some of the models I'm not really interested in. Others I really like this one. I really like printing this one. I'm playing with it for a bit before
Yeah,
I gave it away.
I liked a lot of them that you printed from there. There's a lot of really cool ones.
Yeah.
are the irises in the eyes the same green as the rest of the model?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a tricolor. I used my real printer to print this one. Yeah, I just mistletoe green, bamboo black, and sunlu high speed PLA white.
All right, let's go to the next one. This one's super cool. Let me bring up the paper on it.
Yeah, so this one is the SpaceX Starship, or at least part of it. So this is the top part, and I printed this using bamboo silk plus silver.
And I
And
see it's all in one piece, which is fairly unusual for the. Oh,
it's
sorry.
not one piece. The
I was
all
making
the
a
black.
joke that it wasn't exploded into a whole bunch of
Oh
pieces.
yeah, well, true, because it hasn't launched yet.
Yeah, which is normally the state of this rocket, which is in thousands of
Yeah,
millions of pieces.
yeah, I think they're gonna be renaming the Gulf to the Gulf of SpaceX debris or something like that.
The Gulf of Space Explosions. They need to rename the name of the company to Space Explosion
Yeah,
instead of SpaceX. They forgot the plosion part.
yeah, yeah. It wouldn't fit the logo, so they cut it out. So the black is the zero diamond PLA black. It gave
Those
that
are,
a really nice look.
those are supposedly the new tile that they're using now on the
Yeah,
on that whatever it's called. Because I guess they have two different rockets. One is smaller rocket, which is the one that it never fails. I mean, every
yeah,
time
the
they launch
Falcon
it,
9.
exactly. And then they have the other. I saw a video yesterday. They have like 30 minutes or 20 minutes of Elon Musk talking about his vision going to Mars, and it's a very interesting video. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was cool.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it, but I was reading an article saying that if NASA had as many failures as SpaceX has had in the last year, they would have cut the space program, all the funding to it.
Yeah. But the failure that they have had is just, I mean, they're launched to have it reusable. Every time they
Well, but
launch one of those Falcon 9, it's they reuse it how many times?
no,
So
I know, and that's amazing. But let's be honest here, NASA was reusing the solid rocket boosters since the 80s and the space shuttle. So every time the space shuttle launched, they were keeping everything except the fuel tank. So they were reusing everything. They would just go get from the Atlantic. They would get the solid rocket boosters and bring them back.
Mhm.
Yep. It's way more expensive to make them land than it is to just go get them out of the ocean.
I wouldn't
That's
know.
why
But,
they
probably is.
launch it from Cape Canaveral in Florida, is so that all the falling debris goes down into the ocean or whatever.
Well,
So that
there's
they
another
can,
reason for
so they
that.
can go and pick all that stuff up and bring it back so they can reuse it. Because just think about all the fuel, all the calculations, and all of the ones that have blown up trying to re-land itself. Then, dude, just put a parachute on it and put it in the ocean. You already have those ships out there anyway in case something happens, and they can be emergency vehicles. So you already have to have them out there. Kind of dumb to make them go land again. It's just stupid. Put a parachute on it. What does a parachute cost compared to all of that nonsense? And how many of them blowed up trying to do that? Trying to be cute. Dude, that thing is huge.
Yeah, so that's the can that got me insulted by Hotfix.
I think
Next
the
to
real
it.
one's a little bigger than that.
Yeah, the can is a bit bigger than the normal size by like 1 or 2 millimeters.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
Yeah, so that can, when I downloaded it to print it, it was actually a miniature. So I did a quick search, what is the size of a can, and I just resized it to whatever I found. So it's off by a few millimeters. It's a bit bigger. But yeah, that can got me insulted, and I know I didn't send you the list of filaments that I used for that can, so I'm just gonna say them now. That is silk plus red and silk plus silver. They're not on the list here because I was just using it for sizing.
To
So
tell
to
the
keep
truth, when I saw
Hotfix happy.
When I saw
Sorry?
it, when I saw it, I thought it was a real can. To tell the truth,
It came out really, really
I thought it was a
cool.
real can.
Well, so
It's
I
the
printed
biggest
that. I
soda
think it's
I've ever seen.
yeah. I think I printed it at 0.12. I left the printing overnight. So I just printed on the best quality that I could at the moment and just went to bed. It came out really well. If you turn it upside down, the lower part it has supports because it has an indentation in the lower part, and that part looks awful, but the rest looks really cool. But yeah, this part of the rocket, it's really it was a cool print, and me and my son printed together. Then we took it up to a different level, and we printed the booster rocket and the launch pad. And it's everything together is 56 inches tall.
Dang, that's crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah, that took like 4 or 5 days to print everything, and a bunch of rolls.
Super cool print.
Need
that's
the
really
orange
cool.
Giga for that.
Musk announced that he expect by the end of the year they're hoping to be able to catch the upper stage the same way they caught the
booster.
When did
The
he say
booster?
by the end of the year?
by the end of the year.
Oh, so
That's what he
Did
said.
they say
so
what year?
2030? So 2030 or
No, he said by the end of this
yeah,
year.
but
they
he's
expect
usually
to-
about 5 years late to what he says things are
Okay.
going to be, right? So it's going to be
Okay.
2030.
Give or take.
Full self-driving, right? That was supposed to be how
Well,
long
but
ago?
that's
and
been-
it's still not
it-
like full self-driving.
If we take into consideration the full self-driving, it's been 10 years. So it's not going to be 5, it's going to
And
be
it's
10 then.
still not full self-driving as
It-
advertised in the beginning.
Well, it is. They're trying out. In 2 weeks, they're going to be testing the robo taxi, and it's supposed to be. And they're using it right now. They're testing it completely with no driver.
Do you know where they are testing that so I don't drive by that area?
Yeah, keep me
It's
Boston.
in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas.
Awesome. I don't have
It's
to go to
also
Texas for
it's
anything.
also
best
in Boston.
place, best place for it.
I'm sorry. Where did you say? And also where?
Boston.
Austin. Yeah, Austin,
No,
Texas.
not
right?
Austin. B.
Massachusetts.
Boston.
Oh, really? Is that where they're doing it? I thought it was Austin, Texas. So it's not Austin, Texas. It's Massachusetts.
No, they also have the robo taxis being tested in Boston, Mass.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, I have
I-
family
I-
in Boston. I'm gonna have to notify them to stay off the road.
I know one of my really good friends is there. I'm like, hey man, you might want to be off them streets. All right, thanks for all of these prints, Gabe. This one's really, really cool. Thanks for sending.
Yeah, that's
them.
now on display in my son's bedroom next to the Saturn V. But the Saturn V in real life was smaller than this one, but this one 3D printed is smaller than the Saturn V because we did a 72-inch.
Now
tall
you just
Saturn
need to
V.
get Colorado Adventure Club to make the lighting and everything for it. Make a bunch of lights and blinking lights and an
That would be-
ESP32 or whatever. That'd be
That
really
would be
cool.
really cool.
And you know how they have
Um,
like those ground like spotlights or whatever that are shining up.
Mhm.
That'd
Yeah.
be really cool too.
It would be, but I already have my son saying, well, but this one is supposed to be bigger than the Saturn V. And so we might have to reprint all this way bigger. Hopefully he forgets about it.
If you have to do that, then you can set up the inside for wiring little LEDs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm working on a space shuttle Discovery print that we bought from Colt's 3D. And that one actually has lighting inside. I have most of the parts already printed. I've been printing it. That's been a year-long project. We saw it last July, and back in March we finally decided just to pay the $35 or $40 for $42 for the file. It took us almost a year just to decide to do it. I guess my son kept asking for it for 8 or 10 months until I just said okay. And we're working on that, and it has electronics inside. So we're trying to figure out the electronics part now before we start gluing everything together, because it doesn't print in a real printer. It just prints each color separate.
By the way, I put the link there on the YouTube video. I mentioned that Elon Musk was walking through the presentations. I think it's like 15, 20 minutes long. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll watch it later.
Yeah. It's not.
So
any more
I
links
know this
to
is hotfix.
Elon Musk on my YouTube channel to bring the wrong type of people here.
So I know for a fact that this is hotfix because it has a printed can.
Yeah. All right, so let's move over to Hotfix's prints here, and we'll go with that one. That's so funny. I got a bag on Elon Musk because he's an idiot. But anyway, man, if only my dad was an Emerald Mine owner, what I could have done. I could have bought Tesla too. So tell us about this print.
Well, first of all, the can is actually 3D printed. I used a real printer to make it. Just kidding.
Did you also
Wouldn't
print
that
the
have been
soda
a
that goes
CDC
inside?
machine?
So this is a blue-purple gradient high-speed PLA from FlashForge. And then the horns are, I think, also a high-speed dark purple from FlashForge. This is just a really cool model I found where you print the wings print standing up, which is really weird, and print it on the Super Tack plate just to make sure the wings stayed put. And I also printed a gold version. I didn't get time to take a picture of that one. I'll send that in next week. But kids immediately went, "Oh my God, I want 4 of them." I'm like, guys, no, no, this takes a while. So, and a lot of plastic. But I like how, because the wings, as it prints up, it uses less and less plastic. So the gradient on the wings, the color changes, gets more and more gradual. I really like that. But yeah, and the mouth opens and closes too, which is really cool because the bottom jaw prints separately but snaps in.
Oh, that is interesting. You generally see that. You just generally see them out there, and that's it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if I can find the model. Oop, there it is. Hold on. Nimbus Winged Articulated Dragon. I'll put it in chat real quick. It's fun. No sports. Believe it or not, no sports. Actually, no, I take that back. I think maybe the mouth. I think maybe the mouth had a little bit of supports, just like in the jaw area. But the rest of it, no.
Nothing on the horns.
No. Because they're like, they don't go over 45 degrees or something like that. Just the way it's printed.
Nice little gradual incline.
And then there's the little hairs that I don't see in person, just like Ed was saying.
Not until they're on the 4-foot tall monitor.
No. But yeah, no, it was fun, and aside from the eyes and the teeth and the horns, there was no other color changes, so it went pretty fast. I bet something like this would probably go really fast on H2D, but highly recommended if anybody likes the way it works. Go check out the model. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it turned out.
I had the
cool.
wings, by the way. I had the wings in that where you the very first picture where the wings are laying down. I apparently had them backwards. My bad. The FlashForge makes consistently good filament. I've never had a problem with FlashForge. And their high-speed stuff, it lives up to the hype.
Don't take that to a craft show to sell it. An artisan gets mad at you.
Who?
There's a big thing on YouTube the other day that artisans are extremely...
Oh, yeah, because it's not handcrafted. Yeah, if you take the handcrafted there. Yeah.
And it shouldn't be in the same area as they're at because it's plastic.
Because they made theirs out of pipe cleaners and styrofoam. They should be there and you shouldn't. Yeah, I'm with you. This is, I apparently missed Teacher Appreciation Day. One of the guys in one of my support groups was like, "Oh, I'm a teacher," and nobody said Happy Teacher Appreciation Day, and I went, "Oh, F." So I quickly got these together for my kids. These are all my kids' teachers' names, and Creality wood filament for the frame and the adjustable easel, and the black board has ironing turned on. This is one of the few times I've actually used ironing and it came out like really well. And I had to drop the outer wall down to 0.2 millimeters to get the lettering on the white to print, because the only really multicolored part is the blackboard, because the blackboard is black and white, and it just snaps, pressure fits into the back of the frame. And then you can choose a star, an apple, or a flower. And I let my kids pick not only which shape but what colors, and those are the ones they chose. And they took those with them to school as the next week as a belated Happy Teacher Appreciation Day present.
Oh.
I really like printing with that Creality wood PLA filament. First of all, it always prints consistently well. I wish it was just a hair darker, but when you print it, it smells like a campfire, because the wood in there burns just a little bit. Nothing dangerous, but come downstairs and I'm like, oh my God, I want to go camping.
Have you tried the bamboo one?
Yeah, it smells like cookies.
I have not tried the bamboo ones because
it smells good.
I think it was Eduardo and Len tried a whole bunch, and they just didn't look like. I mean, they had the wood. The color was wood, but the texture seemed off. But,
and it shed a bunch of crap in my printer too.
Ooh,
all in the extruder, the bamboo one, but it smells really good when it printed.
Yeah,
I bought one and I haven't tried it, but now you guys are getting me scared.
I would be scared. It's just that I think there's better wood filament out there.
Yep, definitely.
Did you dry it before printing it?
I think
I'm
so.
sure I did. I'm sure I did. When the suggestion is to dry it, I dry it.
Because I have the rosewood one, and I wanted to try it, but I haven't done
Yeah,
it.
It's not gonna mess your printer up, but just
no,
be
no, no,
leery
no, no.
that it's gonna shed a little bit, and it smells like, or at least the ones that I printed with, it smells kind of like cookies. It smelled like sweet. It was like a sweet smell. It was really weird. So it's weird that the Creality smells like a campfire. We'll have to. That's our new business model. We'll have to make scented filament. That's our new $1 million idea. Scented filament.
A company out of Canada called Canadian Filament. You know, they
Damn it!
actually
Yeah, I
they,
was gonna
they
say there's someone that I know that bought some Canadian
Damn
filament,
it!
they made what was it?
pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin. Thank you, pumpkin spice PLA. It's a tan with little black specks in it, and they claim they put real pumpkin spice coffee in it. And you get the roll, and it's like, oh my god, it smells so good. I re-spooled it because the cardboard spools they had were absolute garbage. And within a week, the smell went away. So they perfumed the spool. Womp womp. And it, and what's funny is, I think it was Cookie Cad. It was either Cookie Cat or one of the other big names actually started reselling it. And everybody's like, oh my God, they're so great. And I'm like, yeah, just go to CanadianFilament.com. You'll get it there. By the way, it's garbage cardboard. Anyway, sorry, digress. This print, I went to take my Subaru in for service, and I noticed they had an injection molded 3-tire. It's if you go to the next picture real quick, but the one after the one with the markers.
You fit a
That
cannon.
one. There you go. They had the one on the right. That's injection molded, and I eyeballed from memory. I kind of like resized the model I found online to kind of be. It was actually a 4-tire, which I got a picture of next. But I just eyeballed it, and I went home while my car was getting the exhaust fixed, and I quick 3D printed this and brought it back in as a thank you to those guys. And they were like, "You did what?" They thought it was kind of weird, but I was like, "Well, you had injection molded. It was hard plastic. I brought you one that was actually rubber." So they thought they got a big kick out of that, though. So yeah, I used
Can you fit the can inside?
this particular one. You actually can. It was a complete accident. I sized it up. This one is the default size. So not only did I cut one of the tires off for the service center, but I resized it to kind of try to match theirs. The default size one is just a little too skinny to fit the can in. But yeah, you can make a really fun beer koozie out of this if you resized it.
Sure. It
Yeah.
keeps it cold.
Yep. And
Keeps it cold.
Or if you get the high temperature PLA, it'll keep it hot.
True.
Just kidding.
oh my God.
True.
Yeah,
Oh.
talking about PLA and I guess a rubber and this, I'm getting a new to me filament. If my wife, if it gets some time before my wife departs from Spain back home, it's a Flex. It's called Flex 920 or something like that. That they make it in Spain. So it's kind of like a flexible PLA, but it seems to be as flexible as a very flexible TPU.
But it's a PLA.
But it's a PLA.
Yeah.
Can you run it through the AMS?
I don't know. Once
You'll find out.
if it arrives on time before my wife's depart, I'll try it and probably jam the AMS.
So it's called flexible PLA.
I can put a link on that.
So I got flexible PLA from FlashForge last year, and I 3D printed a life-size basketball out of it, and actually bounces way better than TPU. Like, it's very bouncy. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I remember seeing. The flexible PLA. I think somebody had a YouTube video on it. They did a basketball. I did a small one, but not with that filament. I tried with CPU. It wasn't good.
So this vase is, I used this filament once before on the live stream. This is Zero's glitter PLA dark green. Like this picture doesn't do it justice. In the sunlight, it's like dark emerald green. It's so beautiful. And I 3D printed that. That's a little bit better. You can kind of see it there. But I 3D printed this. I was going on a date with a girl I never met before, so I printed her this and some flowers to kind of wow her, and she was very wowed. So a little bit.
How she hit you with it?
No. And I did test it before I got there. I put it for half a day. I put water in it. It didn't leak, so it's definitely watertight. But again, with the stringing, God bless. All right. So moral of the story is take all my pictures, load them up on my big screen TV and zoom in. Yeah, Jesus, God almighty. That looks awful.
That's what I'm saying.
Web.
Yeah, no,
there's some spider mites in there or something, man.
Yeah, I hardly ever use a blower or a torch on my. I'm going to have to start using them because when you blow them up here 4 feet tall, forget it. No matter what it is, they all come out. And all you need is a little bit of hot air on them for a few seconds, and that they could go away.
Well, Len would
But
say
you don't
you
see
need a
them.
real 3D
Yep.
printer for stuff like that.
Yeah. But it is a beautiful color filament.
Or you just need to be full of a lot of hot air, right?
Oh, God. You're going to drive me to return to drinking there, Lynn.
Oh, jeez.
I couldn't resist. That one was a good one. I don't care who you are.
Now, I really do like this model, though. It's a very different model, but so same girl told me that our lady told me she was a fan of Sailor Moon. So I went and found out, which is like a cartoon anime character. I went and found out they had a Sailor Moon wand. So I 3D printed all the parts. They came separate for those of us who don't have a real printer. And I spent some time. I chose a couple of filaments. I had a bunch of I printed several pieces a couple times because I wanted to be just right. And you all know me. Of course, the little ball on top is glow in the dark. But it turned out amazingly well and actually left her speechless. So I not only did I have fun making this because I'm always looking for like different designs, but and then I found somebody else made their own version of a stand. There it is being used, but it felt like it was missing something. Like it just felt because there was this weird line, like that gold on the base, the gold piece on the base had a big line down of it, just how it printed. So I went and took that gold bit off the middle of the wand with the gems on it, and I just made another one and glued it onto the bottom of the base. And I think it really kicked that model up quite a bit doing it that way.
Yeah, it looks super cool.
So I gave her that, and I got some good brownie points out of it. But it was fun because I don't normally do stuff like this, and I'm always looking for inspiration, and here was something completely different. And I got to say, aside from removing the supports and a couple spots being challenging, the model was very well designed and very well put together. Everything just fit together just right. So anybody knows a Sailor Moon fan out there, I highly recommend this wand. And then somebody else kind of created this stand to go with it.
Find that on Maker's World.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, I'll link it. So here is the wand. And then here is the stand. And again, the only thing I really did was take the emblem with the gems on the wand and recreate it on the and just make another one and glued it onto the base of the stand. And I used for the yellow and red gems, I used that same translucent zero glitter PLA. I have caramel and red, and those came out looking amazing. And then obviously I did like 0.08 layer height on those just to make them look as round as possible. And then I used, I think, an E-Sun Chameleon for the green. Yep. So you can see the little sparkle bits in the yellow and the red, and then the E-Sun one just looked great. So, and that is Giant Arm Gold Silk PLA. It's one of the better gold silks out there. I've yet to try the Silk Plus from Bamboo. I'm waiting for him to put it on a good sale, and then I'll grab some. Same said girl said she liked tulips. She said a couple different ones. So her favorite color was green, so I did a really cool green stem for all of them, and then I didn't want to also do a green flower on top, so I went and grabbed all the really cool, shiny, random filaments I had and try to do like a bunch of different colors. And they turned out really well. The model had some issues. The stem does not want to print well. I had to end up cutting bits of it off, and for whatever reason, they put that little thing in the middle. I don't even know what that little thing is supposed to do, but whatever. But I had to end up cutting like the tips of the stems off and welding them in place with 3D glue because it was supposed to quote unquote screw in. Nice idea on paper. My one mess up was I got a little overzealous and apparently did too many flowers because when I went to put them all in the vase was like, yeah, dude, I can only hold so much. Whoops. There's my bottle of 3D glue in the background. Stop it, Glenn. You're killing me.
Oh, that's so funny.
He gave her a hairy tulip.
He gave her spider-minded tulips.
I'm just trying to catch her in my web, but
Oh, that was good. Oh, nice.
And
with the prismatic plate too. That turned out really good.
I found a brand new. I'm always on the lookout for the latest and greatest prismatic plates, and I found one on Amazon for like $11. They had it half price, and they had two designs I never saw before. Where obviously you can't see the picture. You can see the prismatic in the picture, but as you twist it, some of the circles spin. They had the vision of spinning, but the other parts of it like change shape. It's just crazy. Renee, don't you know it, man? Don't you know it? Yeah, no, I did I found a guy in Printables who had a cell phone case from my Galaxy S24 Plus, and I showed him somebody else's model where they had embedded the MagSafe ring, and so he took the two models and kind of fused them together for me, and I 3D printed it on my A1, and I was able to embed the ring, and it worked perfectly. But yeah, that's a really dope. I'm kicking myself now. I didn't do a video of like kind of showing you the thing. Maybe I'll do that for next week and show you the guys that new prismatic plate. But anyway.
Yeah, I really like it. If you don't mind sending the link to that.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Hopefully
Sometimes
it's still half the price.
So did you have to stop the print in order to put the ring in and then reassume the print?
Yep, you just put a pause in at a certain layer, and the little ring. I bought a kit off Amazon a long time ago, and it's got a ring that's got a sticky side because it's meant to be just like stuck on the back of a case. So I put the sticky side down. What you're seeing is the side with the sticky on it. So it does a couple layers of TPU. You put that down, and then it just prints right over the top of it, seals it in.
Yeah, I did a case for my wife a few weeks ago, and I bought the rings on Amazon, and I was expecting it that they were going to get stuck into the nozzle. It's harder than nozzle. But I guess the glue on those rings is good enough that it doesn't happen.
Unfortunately, this one's not on sale anymore, but I'm pretty sure if you between here and Temu or whatever, if you keep an eye, this is Diamond Ball and Windmill. It's just really fun. It's way more, again, it's way more impressive in person. And they act like you go to these stores and they act like there's literally like two major. There's Juxtapine and Idea Former, and even then, I think they're probably all the same company. For those who've been around with the show for a while, back around winter time for my kids' winter break, and also for the end of school last year, I 3D printed a bunch of geckos, rubber geckos out of TPU, and the very last day before the end of last year's school. And the very last day before this year's winter break, they run around the school. I sent them in with like 200 of these things. They run around, they put them all over the school, stick them on doors, lockers, all that stuff. And it's a big fun thing, and it gets everybody in the school talking, and my kids get to say, yeah, my dad did that. And it's just a fun, harmless little prank. And so this year I'm going to try to do 250. And I also got another dad at the school who got a 3D printer thanks to me. He's decided to join in, so he's printing these too.
Is it a real printer?
It is not a real printer. It is not.
Wah, wah, wah.
I actually had a friend. Back before there was So a lot of these are Amelin. I have two different types of Amelin Rainbow TPU, and they are color changing. But I actually had a friend years ago do a pause twice on TPU, which that's some commitment, man. So load and unload TPU and to flush it, that's a pain. But he did it twice, where he did one color, switched to a second color, and then switched to third color for these. I still have that gecko he gave me. I'm never giving that one away because that was some dedication. But yeah, so this is start. So next week I should have even more. And then the following week, I will have been right after my kids' last day of school, so you guys will get to see the right before. So join along with me. And that's
give the kids a camera so they can film what they're doing with them in school.
They do have cameras on their watches. I'll actually ask them to take some pictures this time. That's a good point. I never thought to ask them to do that.
But the school has never say anything to you?
No, in fact, the principal saw the kids doing it around winter break and thought it was really fun.
Okay, well, that's good.
Because it's harmless, and
it is harmless, but some teachers and principals might not see it that way.
Yeah, well, apparently my kids told me the principal saw them at winter break and kind of laughed it off. So that to me is giving me permission to keep going.
Yes, and they should invite the principal to help.
Maybe that's not actually a bad idea. But all right, that's it for me.
Cool.
Just don't put them on the principal's car now.
Oh, I lied. I had one more. This is the same thing. That guy I was telling you about who told me his own students missed Teacher Appreciation Day. The guy who clued me in that I missed it. I felt bad for him, so I went back and made him one. And I took the model, and because he's extra awesome, I increased it from 100 to 125%. And I also made him the apple, which that was a pain, man. Even at 0.08 millimeter, it still had some really bad layer lines, and I moved it to concentric top pattern to really kind of hide that last layer. You can see it in the picture, but in person you can barely tell. And that's 0 diamond red PLA, which is really this dark red shiny, and then the green is my coveted Crew Cement Galaxy Green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just the same thing at 125%. And then ironing really makes it look like a blackboard. It's so crazy. When I first couple times I tried ironing, my prints looked like crap, and I've never used it since, but it worked.
How big are these signs? 125%. How tall is it?
This one could still fit in your hand.
So like
So
5 inches?
Yeah, something like
4
about
inches?
yeah, somewhere around there. They're designed to sit on a teacher's desk and not take up a lot of space,
Yeah.
which is why I had to the white text that I put on there. They have a bunch of pre-canned blackboards you can use, but they also have one where you can customize all the text. So I chose a font that looked like handwriting. I twisted it 10 degrees to the left. I rotated it 10 degrees to the left to kind of make it look like somebody wrote it, so it wasn't perfectly level. And then, but the lettering wasn't going to come out, so I had to drop the outer wall size from the default of 0.42 millimeters to 0.2 millimeters, and then it came out perfectly. The pro tip, if you're ever trying to print something super thin like this, and it doesn't want to come out on your 0.4 millimeter nozzle, drop the wall size down, and it'll get there.
It looks great. Love it.
Thanks. Now I'm really done.
All right, thanks for sending all those in. And next we have Mark. And right away with the cool Batman, that's super cool.
That looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that turned out really cool.
If you zoom in a little bit more, you actually see Batman sitting in the truck. In the car.
I can see
Oh
Batman.
yeah.
That looks amazing.
That's sitting up on my wall right now.
Is that looks like an off-white? Did you use like a cream instead of white?
No, that was actually a silver, believe it or not.
The white is silver?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. My brain's gonna have to reboot on that one. But it looks great. Don't get me wrong. It just like it almost looked like a cream, which made it feel even more vintage. I was going to give you credit for not using bright white. But it turned out amazing.
So I'm guessing being a huge for the first layers is black, but that might be the reason it makes it look that way.
Yeah, the main layer is black, and then it it fills in and puts in. I had run out of white, so I looked at what I had, and I had a light colored silver, so I went with that, and it actually came out looking halfway decent.
No, it looks amazing. It probably looks better with that one than it would have done with white.
Yeah, because it makes it look older with that silver.
Yeah,
like Hot Fix was saying, it makes it more vintage with that.
And since it is vintage Batman, it's just perfect. So I guess it was a happy accident for you, but it looks amazing.
And that had just come out of the print. It's still sitting on the plate.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that one turned out really cool. Good color choice.
Yeah,
the red really pops out, and it's like really old looking vintage, and then the red just really kind of pops up.
Which red is that?
That's that's a Sunlose Silk red.
Silk. Okay. Yeah, I can tell that it's red, but I didn't know which one. It looks really good.
I was a little concerned about the plexiglass dome, but yeah, that's what's happening to my frostbite plate. It's that's where the lines go for the when Bamboo does its
the extrusion test, the calibration.
Yes. And it's just peeling off, and the next picture shows it bubbling up on the other side. That's a month-old plate.
Oh, I would open a support ticket.
Yep.
See it bubbling?
Mm-hmm.
I did. I reached out to their Facebook group, and supposedly they're sending me another one. We'll see whether or not I get it, but they did show like a shipping label with my address and everything, and it says the 4th. So we'll see if it shows up or not. But I guess they got a couple of bad batches because there was somebody else on YouTube that was testing the plate, and they went to take a print off the plate, and part of the plate came with the print.
Interesting. I've had really good luck with all of their stuff, but with anything that's mass produced.
And I mean, that's just their frostbite plate. So when I bought these, I bought both the frostbite and the glacier plate. And I've only done 1 or 2 prints on the glacier plate because a lot of the guys here were saying they were having issues with the print sticking. But it's been working fine for me and doesn't have the issue that this plate seems to be having. So
yep, this is the one that I use the most, but mine doesn't have any issues.
Did
Just
you order
something
one? I was going to ask you, Lenny, did you order one for the H2D?
Not yet, but they're supposed to be sending me a whole bunch of stuff. So maybe they'll send me one of those. But they did make a universal cable, which I guess the H2D cable is kind of universal too, because I believe it works on both. It's the first one that doesn't work on both. But they're supposed to be sending me some stuff, so we'll see what they send me. They had a whole long list of stuff.
I like the fact that they actually made extension cables for the original AMS, so when you have to take it apart,
yep,
you don't have to pull those 2 little cables off like we all tend to do.
A lot of really cool. I mean, some of their stuff is stuff that I wouldn't use, but a lot of their stuff is really cool. They've had some pretty cool little innovative stuff. Even the little Panda Touch or whatever. Are you still using that hotfix? I did turn mine on the other day, and yeah, it shoots out errors like you wouldn't believe.
I have not upgraded the firmware on my X1 Carbon yet, so I still have mine. It works normal.
Yeah. I can confirm that if you upgrade it, you will just get error on it. It's pretty wild.
God damn it! All right, thanks, man.
It's a MQTT or whatever error. It just keeps saying that over and over, and it like puts an error message on the printer as well. So yeah, if you upgrade it, it will brick that thing.
But the new interface is so much better than the old one.
It is. Yeah, I mean,
it's great. It's great.
It's
great. It's great.
It is a toss up. I'm really glad that Big Tree Tech sent me this thing and I didn't have to pay for it. Otherwise, I'd be kind of mad. Sorry, hotfix, but yeah, I'd be mad.
Yeah, I got it on Black Friday sale, so I'm not too upset, but still, it sucks.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, but it's not only the interface. I mean, some of the features in the new interface.
Yeah.
For the X1 Carbon, since it's replicating what you see in the H2D, but even the entire process, I think it's great. I think it's great. And unless you have it installed, you won't be able to do the use the H2D. The H2D is only available in the updated software.
But it doesn't matter on the firmware of the X1C. That's what he hasn't updated is the firmware.
No, I understand.
Yeah, I upgraded mine yesterday, and I'm loving the new firmware.
Oh, it's
It
great.
looks
It's great.
really cool, and the
Cool.
functionality is really good.
You know, the only thing I don't like about it is, you know how you used to be able to go in and find out how many hours you had on your printer?
Mm-hmm.
It now takes away the hours and tells you that you've been printing for 217 days and yada yada.
So, so it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I'm just looking at the screen on mine, and it gives you some messages. So mine, the message right now is 6,494 hours, question mark. Just a warm up. What's next on the list? That's the
Yep.
message that it has.
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
has that message too. It shows
Yeah.
how many
Yeah.
hours, like on the front screen now.
But the
Yeah,
question
but
is, if you're trying to find it, the hours is what
Yeah.
is, you can't find the hours. I have seen mine say that same statement, but if you try to look for it, you're not going to be able to find it like that.
Yeah,
no,
I,
it
I
doesn't. It
haven't.
doesn't give you the hours anymore. It tells you if you go into the what is it? I believe it's the tools, and then you go into uh, the printer name or something. It comes up and it tells you 230 days, 330 days. It won't give you the exact hours like it did before.
Yeah, like it used to.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
But it's
that should
storing it
be
because it's
an
giving
easy
you the
fix.
information. When it gives you that statement every once in a while, it
Yeah, but,
Yeah,
it's
but
you
what I'm
storing
can
it.
saying
just
is
search it when you want to.
if you were trying to keep track of the hours on your system, now you actually, where it came up and gave you the exact amount of time, you have to do the math now because it's giving you days instead.
But are those days that you actually used it, or 24 hours days, or those
I'm thinking it's as long as your printer's on, it's counting, is what I'm thinking.
okay? Well, that's
I
not
can
using.
I can do the math really quick. I just found. So. No, it's printable time. It comes
And that makes
down to
So they're keeping track of it. They're
6,480.
still keeping track of the usage. It's just that they're not making it available if you want to find it immediately. You'll be able to find it whenever it comes up on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you need to do the math. So the day, it tells you how many days plus how many hours. So it tells you 290 days plus 17 hours. So you're gonna have to
Okay,
do the math.
so those are actually time that printer was being used, not sitting idle on.
Seems like it, because I just did the math, and it
Yeah. Okay.
matches what mine
Okay.
has.
Okay.
So it roughly matches what mine had prior to the
I
upgrade
see.
yesterday.
I see. Okay.
That's actually a keychain, Len.
Yeah, that's really cool. Another like variation on the yarn stuff. Really, really cool pattern on this.
I think there's a picture there with it'll show you the tail actually has the hole in it, so you can make it a keychain. And yes, that was done on a real printer.
Yeah, I think from now on we're gonna have to specify if it's a real printer or not.
Does that fake printer show you how many hours you've been printing?
Believe it or not, that one
No.
does because I have the Sonic pad attached to it.
But it doesn't do it on its own.
No, it doesn't do it on the regular screen. But because I have the Sonic pad attached to it, it doesn't use the regular screen anymore, so I can go into the Sonic pad and get the time. And that's another keychain. The elephant.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was just my granddaughter saying something about dinosaurs, and I found that.
That's really cute.
And yes, it's got the stringy hairs on it too.
How tall is this one?
I want to say maybe 2 inches.
Okay. That's on Maker World also?
Yes, sir. All of these are on Maker's World. It's the only place I get mine's from is Maker's World.
Mm.
The printer's doing a kangaroo right now that wasn't going to be done in time for this, so. And here we are with the doggy theme.
Yeah, almost everybody's had a dog this evening.
Yeah, we
bit
communicated
closer.
before, so we would
Facebook.
everyone would have a dog. Yeah,
Facebook
we just
group
didn't
or
tell you.
what?
Yeah, next week we're doing something else.
We got to get Len to start up his Discord again so we can have a junior meeting.
That's funny. I like that dog.
Now that one, the tail, for whatever reason, didn't print correctly. You can see if you get close enough, you can tell it's just kind of,
It got bobbed.
yeah, it's like spaghetti. For whatever reason, the tail didn't want to print right.
It's a fashion thing.
Well, you know, it's supposed to be a hot dog, so how many of them actually have a full-size tail? My sister just lost hers, I want to say a couple of months ago, so this was kind of, I figured I'd print something like this out, and then she can put it on the mantle next to her little guy's ashes, and, you know.
I just really like the knitted stuff. There's so many cool models with the like knitted look. I don't know. I really like it.
In all, they print out halfway decent.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had any come out weird or whatever. They all print really, really, really good. Yeah, that elephant turned out good too.
And none of them were printed on that non-printer. I just used the LED light bar that it had for the pictures.
What filament is this? Just the normal gray bamboo basic filament for the elephant?
Nope, that's just Sunlu gray.
Sunloop. And then what color of filament is the?
That's the Sunlu silk red, the same red that was used for the Batmobile.
I really like the texture of this one. I don't know why. It looks really cool.
I was expecting the black to have more layer lines in it than it does. They really came out decent.
Oh, that's a cool model.
And that one's about 3 inches in length. So guys, going back to my bill plate, I just wanted to show you guys, so you could keep an eye out on yours to see if anything starts to bubble up on you, because I didn't expect it, and I just went and peeled off the lines.
Well, I used the
After-
heck out of that thing. If it was gonna do it, it would it would have done it by now. Because I've used
Yeah,
the heck out
I
of
can't
that bad
figure
boy.
out. I can't figure out why it did it, because I was only using either the
Manufacturer defect. I don't think it's anything
You
that
know.
you did. It's just a manufacturer's defect, man.
I was using the super tack plate settings and the cool plate settings, and I only did
No, it's just a
PLA and PET G on it, and that's it.
It's just a defect.
Well, I had one of my beds. I'd used PETG, and when I tried to remove it, it just took the material off the bed with the print. So I get it stuck too good, I guess, and it just took the material off.
Yeah, I did that with the. I don't know if you guys remember the Wham Bam plate or whatever. That was one of the first plates that I reviewed. PETG ruined that one. I didn't put any glue. It said you didn't need to, and it discolored the heck out of it. I couldn't use it anymore.
When I print to PTG, I use the liquid glue from Bamboo Lab. Even in the
You got to get the spray glue, Ed. You got to get the spray glue. It's way better.
Well, don't
yeah,
they
okay.
say to use that Aquanet, that hairspray?
I've heard people use Aquanet hairspray or whatever, but there's this. It's called Landu 3D or whatever. You can't get a hold of it because it's always sold out. But they sent me some of it, and you just spray it. Psh, 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 psh. It's real easy. It takes like 3 seconds to get a plate ready. It's so much better.
What was that noise again?
Here, put your ear real close.
But do you get good results, Lenny, on
Yeah.
the using the
Yeah.
liquid
Yeah.
the liquid glue?
Yeah, it kind of bubble. It kind of looks like a bubble on there sometimes, but you don't see it on your print or anything, and it's so much easier to deal with than the glue stick. Or I like the liquid glue too. That's easy too, but that spray glue, easy. It's a couple.
Do you mind dropping a link to it?
Yeah, it's let me pull up my thing. It's Landu 3D. It's the name of the place.
I stocked up on the liquid glue, and I only use it. I only use it for the PETG and for the ABS.
Yeah, this stuff right here is legit, but
Yeah, and how much is it?
sold out.
Oh, apparently it's free. You can get it.
Yeah. They sent me a thing to do video on it and everything, and I did the one accessory video on it, and they're like, yeah, we're not gonna be back in stock for a while, so don't worry about doing another video. I was like, all right, cool.
I wonder.
But do you have any idea how expensive is it when it was in stock?
I think it was $20 or whatever. I have no
Okay.
clue. I'm guessing. I'm totally guessing on that. I have no clue.
I
I
stocked
wonder if
up
that
on the.
nanopolymer one would work.
I've never tried that. I mean, I've heard people talk about it. I stocked up on the liquid glue from Bamboo. I got it in sale for 50%, and something I was buying, and so I have like 4. I bought like 4.
Seems like they have it on Amazon for $12.99.
Yep.
The Nandu glue.
Yeah, get it, because this stuff, it works. It's pretty good.
Well, I To be honest, I rarely use glue at all.
I don't hardly ever use glue at all
So-
either, but
So I don't need it, but I want to put it on my wish list for the future.
I don't use it for glue. I use it for to be able to as a release agent because
That's pretty much what I use
PETG
it for.
yeah, the PETG can get really stuck in there if you don't. So even in the texture plate, the Bamboo Lab P texture plate, I go ahead and I put it on anytime I'm going to print PETG.
Yeah,
And-
well, I damage a smooth plate that way. Jupin or whatever the brand is. PEI plate.
Yeah, I don't think that you're supposed to. At least Bamboo. I think the Bamboo Lab smooth plate doesn't suggest you use it.
More than likely, I just don't follow instructions.
Okay, I think, but I use in the texture plate. That's the one that I mostly use. I mean, I have them both, and
Yeah, I
Probably
just didn't
use
want to
one.
have any texture on what I was printing.
Mhm.
So I used the smooth side. If I remove it before it cools down, it doesn't damage the plate. I left the printing overnight, and when I woke up in the morning, I completely forgot. So I finished printing, and when I came back a few hours later, I was like,
Oh, it
oops.
shrunk.
Yeah. So I
Oh.
couldn't remove it, and when I tried to remove it, it just damaged the plate. I should have, I guess, heated up the plate again before trying to remove it, but I didn't.
all right. That is all we have for this evening. Hope everybody enjoyed the stream this weekend. I'll see everybody next weekend. No video this week. Do a video next week. But I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch everybody next week. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Great night, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
To the next one. Take care, guys.